The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Host Karen Miranda. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side. We are coming to you live from QATV Channel 8. The lines are now open, so feel free to call. Our loved ones are gone but not forgotten, and just a thought away. I have a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you guys about that has to do with spirits coming back, and also, trying to get a message to a loved one too. One time last year, I was on the bus coming home, and all of a sudden this woman started coming through. And, hi Al, welcome to Whispers from the Other Side.
Putting you on.
Hi Karen.
Hi, how are you tonight? Are you still there? Hello? That's okay. We'll get them back. Yeah, and I was on the bus ride home, and it's funny how, past can connect with the present. Because a long time ago, when I was in my gym class with my aerobics instructor, she came over to me. She knew I was a medium and everything. And she said to me, do you have anyone that's around you tonight? And it's hard because I'm a clear sentience medium. I said, no, we're just getting ready to exercise right now. And I said to myself, that's okay. But it was during gym class and when it started up. And all of a sudden, halfway through the class, I felt a blow to my head that came in really, really strong. And I was sitting there saying, okay. And I said, I know who this is for. And things like that. So as the class continued, it started getting worse. Hi Al, welcome to Whispers from the Other Side.
Oh, hi Karen, how are you today?
Good, how you doing?
Hey, great, thanks for having me.
Yeah, could you just speak up just a little louder for me, Al?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, that sounds great. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. I was just kind of watching the Bruins game, relaxing. It's so cold outside. I
know, trying to stay warm and everything like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been
relaxing.
You've been to me before, I know.
I have, yes, in person. I've been to your show.
Yeah, no. I'm going to get going with you, Al, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling this old woman around you, like a grandmother vibration that's coming through for you with curly hair. And I know she's not the one that passed away last year, but I'm feeling a grandmother figure.
Okay, I'm just trying to think about somebody who's passed recently.
I'm getting average height of a woman, a little heavy set with the weight, but not overly.
No one comes to mind right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait. But I do have a young male that's around you tonight. He had just recently passed away.
Yes.
And
yes.
he has light brown. He had brown hair at one time.
Yes, like a reddish brown.
Yeah, and don't give me any information, as you know. There he goes again. He's not here in the station, light brown eyes.
Yes.
Okay. He is just so relieved. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't old when he passed away.
No.
And it just was like a shock when he passed when he passed away with his crossing.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm feeling breathing with him at the end of his crossing.
Okay.
Do you understand this?
Yes.
Because
Yep.
he said it was fast with his crossing.
I would say so, yes.
Okay, so thank you, and I'm thanking him as I go. It's not an old death, you know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't been over there for long. You understand that too, right?
Yes. Yep.
And he's saying it just all with everything just happened so fast. I don't know if it's him, but I feel like somebody with the heart. There was heart with somebody with you too, and they just.
Yes.
Did that make sense with him?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Yes, because it was boom when I was gone.
Yep.
And it was like you said, he took everybody by surprise. His personality is really funny though, and that would make sense to you.
Yes, I used to joke around with him all the time. Yes.
Yes, and he won't stop smiling with me. I'm feeling like a lot of happiness and things like that. And he said I wasn't in pain for long.
No, it was fairly quick. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional, but yeah.
Yeah, and he's funny because, you know, he's looking down on you, and you were wondering if he was around you still,
Yes.
and if he's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He's with family members over there on the other side, just to let you know that, Al.
That makes me feel good to know that. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's funny because he's chumming around with other people he knew that are over there already. Would that make sense to you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he's quite the comic, though. He just won't stop cracking and joking, and he's kind of like loud, but in a good, humorous way. Does that make sense, too?
Yes.
Because he said, that has not changed with me. I'm still the same. This is coming in like this with me because he's saying to me, and he's saying it was confusion a little bit with him, but that's why it's coming in like this, too, just before he passed away, and that it was boom and gone. But he's saying to me, but at least I went out with the bang.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, sure.
You can take that?
Yeah.
Thank you for taking that. He's also with, I'm feeling a motherly vibration that he's with on the other side. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Because he's with the mom
Okay.
and stuff like that. And she's very kind and caring and nurturing. He's back to being a prankster too, by the way, and that would make sense.
Yeah, he was always like that. Yes.
Oh yeah, he's got a boatload of personality that has not changed at all. I'm getting the average height with him. I'm getting like, I'm not real tall, so I'm feeling like a little bit above 5'5" with him.
Yeah, I'd say that's about, you're about like
Okay.
exactly, yes. Yeah.
Thank you. He's funny too. He's enjoying his pizza tonight.
Oh, he loved pizza. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm seeing him eating it, and especially the pepperoni, even though it wasn't good for my heart. I didn't listen anyways, and that would make a lot of sense to you.
Yes, he did what he wanted.
Yes, and he's funny, and it's like, you know, he still misses me, you know, and but I'm not in, you know, I'm in good health now, because
Right.
my health wasn't the greatest just before I crossed over.
It was not, no.
That makes sense?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and his mom was there to greet him. He wasn't, you know, there was someone else spiritually with him when he crossed over, so he wasn't alone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Did that make sense?
It would, yes.
Yes, because where he was kind of like, I'm feeling that somebody was found.
Yes.
It's on the other side for you.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because, yeah, but he was just so thankful to be found. That, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yep.
stuff like that. And he's saying to me to tell you, it was fast, I didn't suffer anymore, and I'm not working as hard as I used to. And that would make
Okay.
a lot of sense.
It does make sense. Yep.
And he's at the beach, by the way.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to give this to you anyways, but I love looking at the women.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That's so funny, and I love his personality because it's more like his personality he's sharing because he's all healed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, and you needed to hear that though too. And I got to give this to you because I see another baby that's with him that somebody had lost, not just one but two babies that never got to live. Does that make sense?
Yes, kind of, yes.
It does?
Yep.
And I'm giving they're with him over there. Because I had no way of
Okay.
knowing that, so I had to give not just one, but two. And I'm getting
Okay.
something about the
Yep.
month of February with him, too.
Okay, and what's the month of February?
Yes. If it's
Like,
not
what's
him,
the-
there's somebody else over there. And your aunt's around you, by the way. She's enjoying a good stack of ice cream, too, just to let you know that. She liked the double scoops and everything like that, too. And sometimes, if you can understand that, too.
Yes.
She's
Yep.
being
And can I
quite
ask
the
you
hot
about
ticket.
February?
Because
Can I
they're
ask you about-
trying to out-talk each other, and I'm like sitting there going, all right. But the man that's coming through for you, he's saying, celebrate my life, not my death, though.
Right, okay.
And the babies that didn't live, they're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and you needed to hear that, though, because you were thinking about everyone today, too, and things like that. And he's saying just a breath. And somebody knew something was up with him, though, in the family that's still here.
Yes, I would think so, yes.
Thank you for taking that, too. And he's just saying, they were all crying at my wake and everything like that. And he said, but I wasn't crying. I'm here having partying up a storm and listening to Aerosmith and all those kind of things. Would that make sense to you?
It sure does, sure.
Oh, yeah, because he was like, with them, and stuff like that, because he's going back to, like, the wild days. You know what I'm saying? When he was young, a little younger than when he passed away. You know what I mean?
Right, yep.
And I'm seeing a happy birthday coming up in the month of March.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
They're saying happy birthday.
I see.
And his message to you is, go out when you're out at the sports, especially I'm feeling he liked the Red Sox or baseball.
Yes.
Because go out, I'm going to be with you when you're at the games.
Oh, okay.
And he's telling me he's proud of you, by the way, of everything. I'm seeing that he was athletic in school, though, at one time.
Yes.
Does
Yep.
that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and he was very athletic. I'm back into shape, though, and I can move around a lot easier, too. That would make a lot of sense.
Yes.
And
Yep.
stuff like that. And just the breathing, there was breathing issues just before he passed away. Do you understand that, Al?
Yes. Mhm.
And he's so glad he doesn't need assistance or help anymore. That would make sense, too.
Yes.
And
it
he
does.
got some care at just at the very end of his crossing, too.
Yes. Mhm.
Because I'm feeling very weak right now. So where he was weak just before he passed away, too.
Yes.
And he said, I'm not weak anymore.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, and he's saying, and I have my sneakers on. And I'm glad you can understand that, because I'm seeing sneakers. That's a special piece of evidence with him, by the way. So I'm giving that to you. I'm also going to give this too, but in school, when he was in school, in high school and everything, he used to cheat sometimes on the tests.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. He's a wealth of information, by the way, and stuff like that. I just wanted to fill you in on that. And this is courtesy of your aunt that just passed away last year, by the way, with him coming in, because you were hoping to hear from him tonight.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and he's saying, go out to the bar and have a good drink when you're out to salute him. But he said he saw you and a group of people. I'm feeling like more guys, like your buddies, or that were still here out celebrating. Does that make sense too?
Sure. Yeah.
I have to give that to you. But go out and enjoy Aerosmith and everything like that. And that's what I'm getting from him. I do have somebody's mom that's around here. I don't know if it's for you or for Christine, but I have a mother figure that's here in the studio with me tonight too.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
They're all together.
Okay.
And just, and nobody's alone. And you needed to hear
good.
that. Oh, and I'm going to give this to you anyways. I'm seeing horses, and go out and play the ponies. He's saying, That makes sense, huh?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what I call the special piece of evidence in the clutch, because you know me, and I know you've been to me before, and you've been on my shows, by the way, guys. But yeah, he's saying go out and play the ponies, but over here I'm lucky with winning.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying to me, and I can predict the game turned out with the Super Bowl too, of how things are going to come out now, where I did lose those pools too, and he's just been quite the hot ticket. I'm seeing smoking with him too. I'm feeling a smoker that's around him. Another male that's coming in for you.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but he's in the background. But this person that's coming through, he just wanted to let you know I'm there, I'm with him. And he's also saying for me to tell you, the message from him is he's very proud of you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, and that's what I'm getting for you tonight with everything. And the babies that didn't live, they're fine, because they're saying I didn't lose just one, but there were two of them.
Right.
And I'm glad. And I don't know if you have any questions, Al?
Yeah, I just wanted to get back, Karen, to you mentioned the month of February, so I'm just curious.
Because
what
he's
was
saying
that?
to me, if you ever have a chance to go to the track, think of me, I'll be with you. I'm going. I had to give you that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But what is the month of February? What's going on with that month?
Yeah, you got to speak up a little louder. I can't hear
Oh, I'm sorry.
you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you mentioned the month of February. And I was
Yes.
just curious, like, what was going on with the month of February?
Oh, okay. Because, you know, it's funny because they backed off, so it's great, yeah, with February. But celebrate February. Don't be sad in February, okay?
Yeah, because my birthday is the 3rd.
All right. That's all I'm getting for you, Al, tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
Thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
Yeah, it was very nice. Thank you, Karen,
Oh,
so
and
much.
by the way, his message to you, and I know you see me put it up in the post, you got to treat those kids to pizza too, and I'll be there when you're having pizza too. So
Oh my
you have
God,
to do
that's so
that
funny.
when you're out.
Yeah, that's funny. Wow. Did you want me to tell you who you were describing, or do you just kind of leave it as is?
No, it's okay.
I can tell you? Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you described, yeah, so you described to me my cousin Sean Cheever,
Oh,
who
okay.
passed away in November.
Oh, wow.
He was about 5'5".
Mm-hmm. That's why I was
50
going
years
like that
old.
with my height, so thank you.
Yeah, he was 50 years old. He basically died of a heart attack. He collapsed in his house. Nobody was home at the time. And then by the time they got help for him to go to the hospital, they had
It
him
was
on
too
life
late.
support for a while, and it just, it was too late, basically,
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you for validating everything for me. He's going to be around you too, and people forget, enjoy each other and appreciate each other, because you just never know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And things like that. And thank you so much for sharing him. And I know you will hope for him to come through.
Yeah, wow, I'm just so really excited. I appreciate that. Thanks, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you, Al, very much. And have a good night and stay warm.
You too now. Thanks again. Take care.
You too. I appreciate Al sharing that with me, because I was like going, sometimes it gets a little, because I'm feeling disorientation just before he passed away. So when you guys see my personalities changing, when I'm doing a reading for you, they're just letting, sometimes like that with the forgetfulness, the person that passed away was forgetful, and when spirit starts using me as a vessel between the worlds, that's what they do. And then they'll be there, and I'm like sitting there going, okay, but I need to get back to Karen again. She always finds her way back, like I tell you guys all the time. And I want to thank Al for sharing, and the two little ones they're doing great over there, just to let you know that too. Yeah, my gym class. When I was in gym class, and all of a sudden, I had to stop doing my exercising. And then when class was over, I went over to my aerobics instructor and I said, I got to ask you something. Did this happen to your friend that passed away? And she said, oh my God, Karen. And she passed away from a blow to her head. It was very impactful riding accident. She was a beautiful horseback rider. And I said, all right, but just this last year, I don't see Jen anymore, but I missed having her going to her classes. So hi, Jen, by the way. And I was on the bus on the way home. The bus rides could be very interesting, especially if you're a medium like myself. And all of a sudden, this young woman started coming in with all this fun-loving energy. And I said, all right. And I knew who to text. And I texted her on the bus, and I said, look, your friend is coming through and stuff like that. She has more messages for you. And so I gave her the messages, and she's saying to say happy birthday, and my aerobics instructor said, oh my God, it's Valentine's Day. So, and I know Valentine's is coming up, Jen, anyways, but I want to wish you a happy birthday again this year. And I said, when I was drawing her drawing on a show, and like you said, if you guys ever see me doing a drawing and I'm struggling with the drawing, it's just because when I start having a hard time with something, it's how they passed away. And I said to her, I'm having trouble with her nose. She said, oh my God, Karen, we used to look up each other's noses if we had any, not to be boogers in our noses. And she said, that was totally amazing, and blew her totally away. And I thank Jen, and I thank you for letting me share her story and things like that. And it's amazing how the past can connect with the present, because love does not die over there. And you know, it's us that need the grieving that are left behind, and all that good stuff that, you know, it's just, you know, with our feelings and everything, because they're not sick anymore. I know you guys hear me say that all the time, and in pain, spirits will come back. And it was kind of funny because a couple of weeks later, I was on the bus again, and my bus driver, Steve, he's really quite comical, and I was doing a reading for somebody else, and then he said to me, I could understand who that was coming through on the bus. It wasn't for that lady. It was for me, because the person had impact and stuff like that, and I was feeling that with them, and then Steve filled me in. I just wanted to fill you in. Like I said, it can be very interesting. That's why I have to shut down really good. And it was really funny about that. And he said, you know, people come to you. He said, I love dead people. I said, oh boy. And it was really kind of funny, but that's how I look at death. You know what I'm saying? Is like, you know, okay, there's a time to be happy, there's a time to be sad, you know, and that's what the deceased do when they come through to me. Visitations. Spirits can return with, they're looking for somebody to give a message to. I did a drawing over here on the piece of paper. I'm going to get up for a second. And her passing was due to cancer when she passed away. And that's why, but she has messages for her family and things like that. And that's why her drawing, when she was coming in like that, she had no hair on her head and stuff like that. And she had beautiful eyebrows and everything like that. And that's why I have her up tonight, because she's trying to get a message to somebody that's coming through on the other side and saying, I just want to let you know I am around and I am visiting. Because last night when I was at home, and I never know who's going to show up that's around. I said, as long as you're from the heavenly white light and in heaven, I don't mind. And all of a sudden I looked up, and there was this woman that was on the paper. I wasn't even looking at the paper, okay? And she was like sitting there smiling at me, but wanting to get a message across. And that's why sometimes, like when I do people that come on the paper, and it takes a lot of energy for them to even show themselves, or like a symbol or something like that, and that'll do that with me. And I was like just looking at her, and I said, I'm gonna keep putting the drawing on the show, and hopefully maybe someday somebody will call up the station or let me know it's their loved one. And if you don't, she's just saying, You gotta let my family know I'm around them, I'm there with them, and I'm thanking her. And she was beautiful, and she's got her beautiful long thick head of hair back, because of the chemo and all of the treatment she went under. She lost a lot of her hair. She has the kerchief off to the side. I don't need that anymore, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. And you know, she was just like, let me know she's around. Sometimes it can be so much information that I get from people that it's just like, okay, I need to have you wait your turn, because I know you've heard me say that on other shows, but for them to actually manifest or even show a little piece of jewelry, it does take a lot of energy for them to come through like that for you. And she can eat and do everything, you know, like people do when they pass away from cancer. I get it. She got her appetite back and stuff like that. But if anyone's at home and watching the show, she's just saying, tell my family I am with them. Just to let you guys know that. I do have a girl that I did start drawing the other day, last week actually, on my last show I did. And I'm confused right now because I have somebody that's really short, shorter than me actually, who's a male, that's around me in spirit. And he's not confused anymore. Just to let you know that, so that's why everything is getting back to normal with me and stuff like that. But he's saying to let my family know I'm not confused. I'm my bubbly self, and you know, very heavy in the belly and everything like that. And I just had to fill you in on that, of who was around me in the studio tonight. And I'm just gonna get going. And I love when they share their stories, like Al, when Al's the person Al could understand came through, because it's really wonderful, you know, and stuff like that, to keep their memories alive. And I'm gonna just continue. I'm gonna hold her up to the camera in a minute. She has like a bob like I do. Let's go it under. I know I don't need to say how they're doing it, but that's what they like to do with me. And sometimes when you go to sleep at night and you get thinking about a loved one or a friend that passed away, and you're in between that twilight state, between sleep state and awake state, you'll see they'll present themselves to you, rather be in a dream or even showing themselves in the room next to your bed. That's just what they do, because they give you what you can handle, not what you can't handle. And if Michael, could somebody get a close-up of her, I would appreciate it. And I'm gonna continue with her. Thank you. And I actually have a priest, another priest. I get a lot of priests for some reason that's around me on the other side. And smoking up a storm, and he felt overwhelmed. I'm going way up with my height actually. I'm getting almost 5'6" with him, 5'6" with him to 6 foot. And people still miss having him as a priest, so I just gotta put that out there. He had beautiful hair, like light blonde hair actually, when he was young. And she had a thin, thin nose, actually, too. I gotta just... And everybody has their own way to grieve, too, when people pass away. And it's just everybody's way of handling their passing. And there's so many different ways you can honor your loved ones, too. And even if they're here and still, like, battling cancer or something like that, you know, just to, you know, if you have cancer and you got to beat it, you know what I'm saying? That's so awesome. Because then, I know not everybody does heal from cancer. I had 2 good friends that passed away from cancer. And one of my friends, when she passed away, I didn't hear from her for like a while, but it was near Mother's Day. And when I got it, came in really, really strong. And she was telling me, tell my mother to wish her a happy Mother's Day. And I wasn't sure how open her mom was to spirit communication, you know, being brought up Roman Catholic or, you know, whatever your denomination is, it's not always accepted by some people. So I felt kind of funny because I knew they were very Catholic orientated, but I said, I'm going to call her anyways. And I said, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I said, you need to know that Jeannie's okay and she's going to be with you on Mother's Day. Just to let you know that she was so happy, and I was so glad that she could understand the message and was actually very happy to hear that, and with her relatives over there. And I was watching something one time, I can't say, I win. And even if you pass from cancer, you're all healed when you cross over to the other side. And you know, I admire anybody battling a disease right now and getting over it, or if you don't make it, you know, when you cross right over, you go right up and you're all healed. Just to fill you in on that. Spiritual signs, I know I've talked about this before, but it's too funny. When I was in my living room a couple of weeks ago, I saw a symbol out of my head, and it was a sword, and I'm sitting there going, oh, I know who that's for. But at first I wasn't sure. I'll gotta be the first one to admit it, of the sword. And I said, it disappeared as quickly and stuff like that, so I'm not used to seeing symbols like that. And this person startled me from behind, and I saw this cloak that they had on, because that's how they were presenting themselves to me. And I said, I know who it's for, and stuff like that. So I said to this person, I gotta give you this and this, and stuff like that. And she understood all the information that was coming from me. So you know who you are. I want to thank you for sharing that piece of information with me. And it's just, you know, it's different every time. Every time it's very different. I just don't know how spirits are going to present themselves to me and stuff like that. So I said to myself, I had to accept it. It took me a long, long time to learn to accept my gifts, because I just didn't think it was normal. I gotta be totally honest with you guys. But when I finally embraced it and stuff like that, I'm just a messenger between the worlds and everything like that. Somebody asked me a long time ago, not too long ago actually, well, you mean to tell me my mom is okay when the other side? And I said, I didn't do a reading for him, but I said, you know, I'm not getting anything, but it's, you know, I'm just a messenger in between. But usually they don't do stuff like that with me just because of it's always positive when I do message work and coming from a good place, that I just am like, all right. And, you know, that's how it is. One time it was kind of funny, actually. It was funny with the confusion part of it. I was in the store at Kohl's, and I was in there, and all of a sudden I felt this woman that was coming around me. And I'm like going, okay, I don't know who you are and stuff like that, but I think I might know who you belong to. I can't say names and things like that. And feeling this confusion when she was in the store, and I'm like, okay, so not thinking about it, grabbed the wrong shirt, bought it home, and sure enough, when I saw somebody, I said, was this person you know in your family very forgetful? And he said he was. And did she used to lose things in the store? He said, all the time. So I said, I thanked him for that, gave the person the message and everything like that. And I was very happy because sometimes even men get a little, but when you hit a core sometimes with the men, and that's really wonderful. And I said to myself, I knew it made a lot of sense to him, everything like that. On spirit children, Carol, who called for the last show, I did want to fill you in, by the way. When spirit children come in, she could understand the child that was coming in, but didn't understand the second child. That was just her way of letting you know I'm not alone, because children are not alone. They get caught up with other people, you know, other spirits on the other side, and their families and friends. And it's really nice to know, so I had to explain that to you tonight, Carol, what was going on with that, because I know she knew the little girl, like I said, but she did not understand the other person she was with. So she was playing like life was going on, and I think that's totally wonderful, and with her family too, as well as other kids on the other side. The other thing I want to share is one time when you're getting ready to cross over and your person's not coherent to communicate with you, especially someone with dementia and Alzheimer's or in a coma even, you can still talk to them, because even though they're not there anymore to express in their physical bodies, they're in their spiritual bodies to let people know I'm okay, you know, it's okay. And it's okay to tell them you can go and be with your family members. We're gonna be okay. I know I probably shared this before, but sometimes I think it's good to know. My late ex-husband, 2 years ago in 2023, he was died from dementia and pneumonia actually. And we were all there in the room, and I held his hand, and I said, it's okay, I forgive you, you know, and the kids are safe and all that. And I was talking to him, even though he wasn't physically there, I knew he was listening in. Just a overwhelming presence came up, you know, in the room. And it was really nice, you know, and I was just like, you know, saying this, and the kids are safe and all that. And with that, he closed his eyes and went to sleep and crossed over to the other side. And I thought that was so wonderful, you know, and things like that. And when somebody does pass away, there are different ways that you can deal with their passing. When they do die, you can do balloons and stuff like that and release them. They don't go to heaven, so they will fall to the ground, but if you see a balloon on the ground, you know, just pick it up and throw it on the rubbish so a little child won't choke on it, or even a pet or whatever. But that's just somebody's way of, you know, dealing with their grief of how their friend passed away. And it was really nice because you know, it just, the release of them seeing the balloon go up to them like in a message, but it came back down to earth. The other thing you can do is letter writing. Letter writing, just touch a base a little bit with grief tonight too, it's a wonderful way to deal with your grief and write a letter to a deceased loved one that had passed away on the other side, because you're writing down your feelings and letting them know how you know, felt about their passing and everything. I used to put letters in the casket with the people that had passed away. That was my way to deal with grief and things like that. And one time I can remember, it's a good while ago, when my aunt died, a very close aunt of mine, and I had a little medal of hers with the Blessed Mother on it. And instead of putting a letter in with her, I said, I'm going to do something different. And I said, I saw my cousin, and I said, could you do me a favor? He said, what? Can you put this in with your mom? And he said, okay. And he took the medal for a while, and he came outside, and I'm like, what? I'm going to let you put it in with her. I said, oh, okay. The medal that I had given him to give her, and I loved my aunt very, very much. So when I went in to say my prayers and my respects, I slipped the medal in with her and, you know, said my goodbyes, and, you know, not goodbye. But I went back, and a couple of days later, when I got home and I, you know, looked at about the twilight state with In Between the Worlds, with, you know, sleeping and everything. I just took a nap or something like that. And I woke up and I saw the necklace out of my head, the pendant with the Blessed Mother. But not only did it have a pendant, but she put a chain on the necklace. So I thought that was really nice, and I thanked her for sharing that with me, because that's just her way of showing me she's around and that she received the medal, and, you know, and that she's with relatives on the other side. If you ever hear somebody saying when they get ready to cross over to the other side too, well, I'm on the touching base with grief and the process of crossing over, and come out of it and say, I see so-and-so and I see so-and-so, you know, in the room with me. That's them seeing their loved ones that went on before them, because what they're doing is they're getting ready to, you know, cross over, and the families that went on before them are there to help them with the crossing, which is really nice to know that when you get ready to go, we do recognize each other when we do pass away. It could be fully visually seeing them, or you can see their energies, but you'll know it's your loved one because you'll feel that eternal love that, you know, you'll recognize them, you know, and stuff like that. The thing with that is it's really nice too, because knowing that you will see them again when it's your time to cross over. The other thing is with that is people say, is there a difference between, is there an in between hell and heaven and purgatory? That's how I was brought up as a Catholic, Italian Catholic, and I believe going to Catholic catechism and everything like that, that when you pass away, there's heaven, hell, and purgatory. And purgatory, that's how I was brought up, but now I don't believe in that. I believe that you do, some people maybe do their life lessons. It's what you choose when you go over there. Oh, I'm not the one to judge. That's up to God and everything like that. So it's just, you know, makes me wonder about the in-between place. But in-between is, you know, a place for learning and growing. And I told my friend just last night, I feel like when I first started to develop as a medium, I feel like you do your life review. It's like a camera. The camera goes so fast. You get to see your life review in 2 seconds. So, and I said to her, but my spiritual beliefs have changed so much since that, years ago. And I just believe, it's your choice. And it was when I said to her, heaven in the afterlife, it's a really beautiful place. When it's your turn to go and experience that, and just to have that happen, and it's like sitting there going, all right, and it's beautiful. Words cannot describe what heaven looks like. And I usually don't share this too much with everybody because I don't share anything with anybody too much that I do see because, it's my personal thing. But before I do my mediumship work, I pray the rosary. And I ask the white light, nothing but the highest and best come around. Because, you're dealing with all levels of energy and things like that you just don't know how, it works. But years ago, when I went to church, it was a hot summer day, and I went in and said my prayers, and halfway through the Mass, a beam of white light came through the window, and it was so beautiful. It was so brilliant. Words can't even describe what I was seeing. So when that happened, I stopped for a second, and it was still there. It didn't go away. I rubbed my eyes. You know how you get when you think, okay, it's going to go away. But what was really odd about that was like the church went to a standstill for a second. The whole church did. And I was like, oh my goodness. And just got caught up in the moment. Just kept it to myself. Didn't realize that having that experience, how it connects with the present day. Because to me, white light is protection. Because I always protect myself before I do any mediumship. And it's funny because I asked the white light to surround and protect me and keep me safe. And I call the angels in too. But I do that too, and not knowing back then that the past would connect with the present. And to this day, I still do the exercise. I'm just sharing little bits of tidbits with you guys. I know I'm all over the place, but Karen always finds her way back, like I said in the beginning of the show, because sometimes when I get babbling, I just keep babbling. It's a gift too. And I just had to share that with you because, this is your feelings when I do message work. I always make sure it's coming from the highest and best, and people that are in heaven and on the other side, and on the highest side of life is what they call it in spiritualism, to make sure that that's, like that. So I just had to share that with you too. I always protect myself, and prayers. I know if you guys have heard me mention this before, but I wanted to touch base with it just for a couple of minutes. Prayers do help them to learn and grow over on the other side. And I asked a reverend one time about prayer, and she did tell me, Karen, it's good to pray for people when they pass away because that helps them with that transition. And even, they're in a good place, but, I pray and it will help them to learn and grow and transition from the physical to the spiritual, to that spiritual journey all over in heaven on the other side and highest side of life, just to help them learn and grow. And prayers are like musical lyrics. They're going right up there, and that is just amazing to me. That it's nice to know that's another thing. I'm going to finish up the drawing now. I got to get her nose in better. But I always protect myself. And this is, your guys' feelings too of, you know, it's serious, you know, and I love when the humorous ones come in too, but sometimes it could be really humorous or really serious. And I don't know how Spirit's going to work with me while I'm communicating with them to deliver messages, and it can be very serious sometimes too. And it was just like, all right, and then I had to, you know, you just have to accept it because it's your feelings, not my feelings, and stuff like that. And it could be very emotional. But if you get a reading from somebody and it hits a nerve or something like that, and you start crying, it's okay to cry. It's okay to let your feelings, you know, out and express everything. That's why I shared the letter writing with you guys again and talked about, you know, the way I've dealt with things and stuff like that. And the little man that was here with me, he was serious, and he was short, like I said. He was bald in the end and things like that, and used to have a comb in the back of his pocket, so he has it again. Blue eyes, sandy blonde hair, but as he aged, it got darker, and of course, then it fell out. I had to share that with you. And if you guys go out in the cold, wear chapstick or whatever you need to wear, because I know, like with me, my lips are very, you know, you get things and everything, you know, the thing gets so dry and everything like that. And if you have suicidal thoughts, there is help out there that you can get with people that you can talk to, because I know there's a lot of bullying today, and sometimes the teenagers are under a lot of peer pressure, and just, you know, get help right away as soon as you can, and, you know, you gotta, you know, just there's help out there. Suicide's not the answer. And she had trouble with her eye, by the way, so that's why this is coming out like this. I'm going to put her up one more time. And I want to thank Al for calling, for sharing, and I appreciate the support. And anybody that calls, I appreciate and feel very blessed to be able to deliver messages to your loved ones that are on the other side and in heaven. And there was some kind of an issue going on with her throat too, just to let you know that it was just full of phlegm or whatever, just saliva or whatever you want to call it, but it had to get cleaned out and stuff like that with her. Her anniversary is going to be coming up. And she's glad she doesn't need any more breathing machines either. There she is. And I hope what I shared with you guys tonight is a help with your spiritual journey with your deceased loved ones and people that have crossed over to the other side and that are on the higher side of life and in heaven, whatever your spiritual beliefs are. You know, I do thank you, and suicide isn't the answer, just let you know that. And I know you know that because you hear me talk about it, but there's so much of it going on today that people don't realize, like when you're bullying someone in school, you don't know what kind of effect that really is having on somebody, so think twice before you stop bullying somebody, because you don't know, and I just had to fill you in on that too as well. And I was hope everybody's staying warm and things like that, and just remember, put your sunscreen on, you know, protect you guys know all that anyways, but sometimes we just still need a little reminder about that. And I want to thank my aunt for letting me share her story, who's in heaven and on the other side, in the higher side of life too. She was wonderful, and I'm human like everybody else. I do miss my family and I do miss my friends, especially my dad's anniversary is coming up, actually on the 30th this year. He was 92 when he passed away, and I still would love to sit and have a conversation with him, but I know he's in a good place with all of his family and relatives that are on the other side celebrating and, you know, just being happy and coherent again. And, you know, you're human, it's okay. And our loved ones are gone, but not forgotten, and just a thought away. And it just, you know, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and listening in. It was wonderful to share, you know, some of my experiences too with you guys. And thanks, Jen, and stuff like that. So just to let you know that. I'm going to sign my name at the bottom. Okay. And I want to thank my crew for volunteering their time to come in and help me out tonight. And taking time out of their very, very busy schedules. And tune in next month. I'm doing a show February 11th, a Valentine's special, so be sure to tune in. And our loved ones are gone but not forgotten, and just a thought away. And wishing everybody lots of love and light. I have brought my hands in tonight to put on the fireplace tonight, because I'm always wishing everybody lots of love and light. And give that somebody here that an extra big hug tonight too, you know, and show that affection. So, hey, you know, I'm still here, you know, and just be kind to each other, because life really is too short.